And hopefully you're warm inside somewhere right now. The next time you go outside, temperatures may be down to some of the coldest levels we've felt this season. Jeff has more on this significant drop.
Temperatures just literally drop like a rock at about 7 to 8 o'clock tonight, depending on your exact location. With that rush of Arctic air, we had some of the spotty precipitation come through, and we had a few rain showers. When it came down a little more heavily, we had some snow mixed in. Again, the snow tended to be a little more to the north in terms of any light amounts, but we saw it here. I saw it driving in. I'm sure you're seeing a little bit still down around the Outer Banks. That's the last little bit as it gets ready to move out. Temperatures right now, though, they are down into the mid-30s, and with that wind, west-northwesterly at 13, but still gusting up as high as 30 miles per hour. It feels a lot colder than that. Wind chills right now. Actually, did that show the wind chill? Let's go back there really quickly. Some of these show the wind chill right now. No, this one doesn't show it, but wind chills are down into the 20s. So let's talk about that as we go through time, because the peak wind gust this evening, 44 miles per hour in Virginia Beach, almost the mid-30s down there in Manio, mid-30s Hampton and Newport News. So it was really howling for a while, and we're going to continue to see those winds being pretty strong this evening. So as these air temperatures drop back down into the 20s, and even colder, by the way, for inland areas, lower 20s, we're going to have wind chills in the teens. Tomorrow, not much of an improvement either. I will talk about an extended forecast, though, with several days up near 60. That's coming up.
All right, Jeff, thanks. Late tonight, the Democrat Doug Jones won the U.S. Senate race in Alabama. Jones defeats Republican Roy Moore. Moore's campaign manager says the Republican is not conceding yet. Moore had the support of members of the Republican Party, also the president, despite allegations, well-publicized allegations of inappropriate behavior with the young girls. We're expecting to hear from Jones as we monitor that situation. We'll let you know and bring you more just as soon as we hear. Norfolk police are investigating 3 shooting incidents tonight. All 3 men were killed. In the latest incident, police say 2 men were found dead on the side of a busy highway tonight. The bodies were discovered around 7 o'clock along Northampton Boulevard near North Military Highway. Robert Boyd is live with more.
Well, David, what a bizarre case out here, which has shut down traffic for hours tonight. You take a look behind me. It was around 7 o'clock when police found 2 abandoned cars on Northampton Boulevard, a few hundred yards down from that police car we're looking at right now. And when they began to search for the drivers of those cars, they actually found 2 dead bodies not that far away. Now, both the cars were in the eastbound lane facing each other. They looked sort of dinged up, but there was no major damage, at least visibly from our angle. Now, there's a wooded area right next to the highway. That is where the 2 bodies were discovered lying on the ground. Both men died from gunshot wounds. Of course, the eastbound lanes have been shut down ever since while police investigate. Both those vehicles were towed away. While the names of those 2 individuals found dead have not been released yet, police still waiting to notify their family. But once again, a very strange case. Wondering what happened out here. Early indications or opinions, possibly road rage, but none of that has been confirmed at this point. Police could be out here quite some time investigating, and they're asking for the public's help. If anyone out there has any information on this case, you're being urged to call Norfolk Police. Live in Norfolk, Robert Boyd, 13 News Now.
Robert, thanks so much. Just minutes before that shooting, Norfolk police were investigating another shooting in Ocean View. A 17-year-old was shot just after 7 o'clock on Dudley Avenue. He's at the hospital, and we're told he should recover. Detectives do not have a motive or suspect at this time. Norfolk police still are searching for suspects involved in another deadly shooting. It happened just hours earlier on Harrell Avenue in the Ballantyne Place section of the city. Officers found a man who had been shot. Medics rushed him to the hospital, but he died soon after. Neighbors reported hearing as many as 20 gunshots. One man told us he saw 4 men with guns.
I saw 2 guys in the backyard firing between my house and the house next door. And, you know, I looked out the window and saw it, and then I shut it back real quick, you know, and then I left there, you know, left out of the room, because I didn't know if anybody saw me.
That man, you heard his voice just there, didn't want his face to be shown on camera. He told us he saw the victim fall to the ground and then 3 people jumped into a car and took off. Police have not released any suspect information. Well, tonight, the Menchville High School boys basketball team took the court against Phoebus High. It was the first game for Menchville since their head coach, Ben Moore, died unexpectedly over the weekend. The team and coaching staff played tonight in his honor. Janu Hur was at the game.
Well, David, this was just a great group of kids and coaches to speak with tonight. I caught up with them tonight at Menchville before their game against Phoebus. They're still dealing with a lot of emotions from Coach Moore's death, but they told me tonight they were going to play with a lot of passion and a lot of intensity for him. They say Coach Moore has taught them what it's like to play as a team and more than that, as a family.
Menchville High School's hallways are draped with his name.
He always has a smile. He's always upbeat.
Coach Ben Moore's infectious nature has clearly rubbed off on this school.
Charismatic. You cannot be sad around that guy.
And it seemed like in just a few short moments, the boys basketball team's coach was ripped from them. Coach Moore collapsed at a former player's funeral over the weekend. He died shortly after. Ahmad Goldson,
And that just put me in full shock.
was just at practice with Coach Moore Saturday before all of this happened. Days later, it still doesn't feel real.
Just to get that news, it was just like, man, what am I going to do now? He's a fighter, and he never gives up. So I know he fought every last second.
And just like Ahmad, Jay Grimes played for Coach Moore in his high school days. For the past 2 seasons, he's coached alongside his mentor.
Just the positivity. He saw the brightness. He saw potential in every kid.
Ahmad and Coach Grimes considered their late coach a father figure, a man who impacted the team as well as the Newport News Public Schools. He was a teacher and a coach for nearly 3 decades. The district said his unexpected death has left a void in the Newport News Public Schools family.
I remember it just playing through my head on Friday night. He gave me a hug and he said he loved me. That's one thing I'm going to take away.
A memory that will stick for a lifetime. In Newport News, Janu Hur, 13 News Now.
Feds are now investigating that fire that shut down work at an Amazon shipping facility in Chesterfield County. The ATF was called in after investigators determined an incendiary device such as a firebomb started that fire. We told you about the fire last Friday morning. A worker saw smoke coming from a shipping bin. A supervisor put out the fire quickly, but the building was evacuated for hours. The ATF is offering a $2,500 reward for information leading to an arrest. A Hampton homeowner is frustrated but still counting her blessings tonight. She says she'll have to rethink Christmas after a car crashed into her house this morning. It happened at the corner of McHale Avenue and the Hampton Road Center Parkway in the Michaels Woods neighborhood. The woman says she was at work and her 18-year-old son was at home sleeping when this happened. He got the scare of his life but wasn't hurt. The homeowner rushed home and saw the car in her house. She's upset because she says this has happened before.
About 2 years ago, someone ran in my yard and totaled my car, my vehicle, totaled it, hit the other vehicle, and kept on going. Then they hit the brick mailbox. The brick mailbox was rebuilt. And even before that, 2-3 years ago before that, they hit the other wooden mailboxes. And then now they hit the home.
The house has been condemned. Police charged the 65-year-old driver with reckless driving. The driver suffered minor injuries, but police would not tell us whether a medical condition led to that crash. A whale died today after getting stranded in the James River off Newport News. People who live nearby spotted the fin whale this morning caught on a sandbar. The stranding team from the Virginia Aquarium rushed to the scene and got in the water trying to help the whale swim away. We're told the whale was alive and moving when the crew arrived, but sadly it died about a half-hour later. The whale was hauled off to Craney Island, where a necropsy will be done tomorrow morning. Another step forward today for the proposed Atlantic Coast Pipeline. The Virginia State Water Control Board approved water quality certification for that project. The question is whether the water along the route will be contaminated during the pipeline construction. However, the permit is conditional on getting more information on the impact on water quality. The pipeline will run through West Virginia, Virginia, and North Carolina.